Welcome back to the Ultimate Seattle Sports Show. The hint right there was on the screen. The Ultimate 5, the top 5 is a good subject and a good title for some things, anything you want to throw in there. And this time around, we're throwing in the best sound bites that Chris and I believe, and even Brad Adam has his own list of kind of go-to guys when it comes to sound bites. Pre-game, post-game, whatever it takes. When you're ever looking for a good sound bite, who do you go to? Chris, you want to start us off?
Let's give our list first, Paul, then Brad will do his. Once again, not top 5 players, top 5 sound bites. Number 5, you got to have Geno Suarez, good vibes only on there. Anytime you need a fun, quick bite, you go to good vibes only.
Yeah, it's always fun to listen to him because sometimes you have to decipher because Geno kind of goes there, and he's real excited and emotional when he talks, and it's almost just funny listening to him because you're not quite sure where he's going with his comments.
Number 4,
yeah,
Paul?
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. All right, you got to agree there. Number 4, Norm Charlton. I go back to the sheriff just because of a long time ago, when you used to. And Brad, you've been around. You've talked to the sheriff several times. If you ever got him in a good moment where he just felt like waxing on, man, he's just got that slow delivery and always kind of gave you a nugget or two. And I always enjoyed talking to him because you never knew what you were going to get.
Yeah, a guy that would tell the truth and not worry about who heard it.
For sure.
Okay, number 3, Brown, on our list. I'm going to my spring training go-to, man. Logan Gilbert. I think he's always very Mr. Smooth. He always brings in other players into the interviews. He always is willing to have a little fun with you. I like Logan Gilbert. I got him at number 3 for myself.
That's a little high for me, but you're right.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a little high, but he's getting sneaky good. You're right, Chris. Sneaky good.
Well, when he threw out Logan Gilbert, I'm like, Logan Gilbert?
Yeah. Andres Munoz is getting sneaky good, too, the other night. He did a great post game.
Yes.
All right, let's stay. I got number 2. I got Jay Buhner. Another.
Yep.
I mean, I guess you can kind of see where I'm going. I like the old school guys who tell the truth, and Bone always made it real interesting because you never knew what you're going to get from him. Plus, he kind of livened things up a little bit. He wasn't afraid to not only tell the truth, but he'd also throw in some humor as well. And Jay was always great.
My only problem with Jay is he thinks when you're the media that you're also a player. I've been hit many times by Jay like a love tap, but he almost breaks my bones because he's like back playing days again. But yeah, he's definitely one of the best.
All right, number 1.
Another truth talker right there, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, number 1, Brad, for us, it's Sweet Lou. You just never knew what you were going to get.
Yeah, I think we can all agree on Lou, huh?
Yeah, I missed this one because I didn't think managers. But he would definitely be in my top 3 for sure. I mean, you're right. You never know what you're going to get. I got to talk to him pregame like every day, and it was like a circus. And he was great, too. He always said, ask me anything. Because usually you'd say, hey, I'm going to ask you about this, and he just stopped you and said, ask me anything.
My favorite, actually, guys, before you do your top 5, Brad, I think it was Michael King asked Lou Piniella. I think the Mariners were like 0-6 when they played a Tuesday game after a Monday off. And, Lou lost it. He just like, what do you want us to just forfeit every Tuesday game from here on? And it was. And when he says, sir, you know you're in trouble. So, all right, Brad, lead the way.
All right, so my 5, again, just pure entertainment. We would start with number 5. Is that right? I had to look at this. All right, so Kyle Seager, who told me just really dry humor, funny, and he told me that the best story I've ever heard on air, and we don't have time to do it. Next time I come on, remind me to tell you guys the Seager story from his high school basketball playing days. Jay Buhner, who we talked about, and what also was great about Jay is while you stand there in the clubhouse, you'd have to like keep dodging because he just keeps spitting his tobacco juice just straight on the floor. And you're like, just dodging. And you're like, I feel bad for the club. He's like, they got to clean this up every night. But Jay, didn't matter, shirt off. He's in his underwear, just, doing that. So I like Jay. He's great. Now, this next guy, I go with the bullpen. You guys know a lot of quirky dudes out in the bullpen. Sean Kelly, to me, was hilarious. He had these kind of thoughts on life and different things. He was convinced Hawaii was a different country because you had to fly over an ocean to get to it. It was not part of the U.S. I give him credit. He knew back in like 2011 or 2012 that the penny, there was no use for the penny anymore. He said, get rid of the penny.
He was ahead of the time.
And I was like, no way. When they finally did it, I texted him. I said, you were ahead of your times, man. So he knew that. Charlie Furbush, same thing.
Yeah.
He would just a fun guy. Anything, we did football picks with him. A quirky lefty in the pen. Enough said right there.
I'll say this, Brad. Furbush and Wilhelmsen, probably the best commercial,
Yes.
The Hot Corner with Seager.
Yeah, and they've got a podcast out now, which is fantastic. So those two guys, a lot of fun. Yeah, Tom could have easily been on my list. And then Ichiro is my guy too. He's different than anybody else because back in the day, I'd say, hey, I need to interview this. He'd say, sure, can I have the questions? Can you write out the questions? So I would write out the questions, and he'd spend the night reading them, thinking about it, coming back the next day, giving really long, thoughtful answers. I mean, he really wanted to do a good job in the interview. He wanted to be, deep meaning and give you what you wanted and kind of explain things. And he would always kind of ask, like, was that okay? Was that good? Could I have done anything better here? I mean, he really cared. And, I appreciated that with Ichiro. And then he got to be pretty funny too. You talk to him now and he drops these little things here and there that you don't know he's realizing your stuff. And it's always in English too. All the interviews are in Japanese, but when you talk to him in English, he'll drop a few things here and there. So, but there's lots of guys you could put on that list, but those are just kind of the ones that came to mind.
And I think Ichiro hit a home run in Cooperstown at the Hall of Fame with
Absolutely.
his speech there. Yeah.
All right, well, listen, there's some controversy at number one, man. First of all, Mariners fans rarely ever got to hear him speak English. Media members outside of yourself, Brad, barely ever got any good interviews with him because he was always protected. And the other thing he would say is that, he was real careful, like you just alluded to. He didn't want to say anything that sounded stupid in English, so he would always make sure he had a translator with him. So for you to put him at number one, and I've seen you at the ballpark, most recently in the last homestand where you were just out there shooting the bull with him. And it's very cool to see you talking to Ichiro because the rest of us know he's not talking to us like that, and we can't get any good sound bites from him. So I wish in his time he would have endeared himself a little bit more to the fans over his decade plus here in Seattle.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think he's much better about that now. Like he'll sign autographs and talk a little more to fans, and he's really open to teammates now. Before he was really guarded and kind of waited for teammates to approach him, but now he's going to Julio. He throws to Julio every day in BP. He's going to the outfielders, asking them this, and showing them how he did things. If anybody has hitting questions, he throws batting practice to the guys in the cage underneath. He catches bullpens when the team's on the road and you got guys back at home rehabbing. So he's so involved and he's more open now, which is really good to see, Paul. You're right. It's so guarding. You understood it, right? Because there was so much pressure on him and he put so much pressure on himself being the first Japanese position player to come over. So I think now he's at a much better place. Obviously he had the Hall of Fame career and now we can kind of give back and just be more open. So it's fun to see this side of Ichiro, letting other people see that too. You're right.
Yeah, that's obvious.
All right, Brad and Paul, I don't need a top five for the toughest interview in Mariners history. All I need is one. And I'm going to tell you the story. Eric Bedard. Eric Bedard gets my
Three
number
questions.
one. And yes, Brad, you said it. Spring training, guys, this literally happened. He had I think it was a bullpen or he pitched a spring training game. He came out afterwards. All the media members came to Eric. He said, 3 questions. And one of the media members said, seriously? And Eric Bedard, without wasting a second, goes, 2 questions.
Yeah, some guys just didn't like the media, right?
One of the greatest post-game moments of all time.
That ended it for him. It really did. I mean, from that moment on, we all looked at him sideways.
Right. And you're right. And he did not like doing it. We didn't like interviewing him, but you had to. The starting pitcher every 5 days. It was just brutal, right? You get maybe a minute, like 8 questions in a minute, because they're just so short and just. Yeah, some guys just don't enjoy it, and certainly don't enjoy talking about themselves.
Yeah. How could you not enjoy talking to Brad Adam, Paul?
Yeah, man. Hey,
I appreciate
I know you got to leave because you got to get some chores done before you leave town.
Yeah, man, I got a long list.
But I will ask you this: what is the worst chore that you have to do before you leave town? What is the one thing you don't like to do?
That's a good one. I had to take care of the yard. I got to mow and weed eat. I got to do the garbage, the bills, try to do some laundry, fold that.
See, he's an everyman.
Clean the bathrooms. I got to do it all, man. What do I not? Probably the bathrooms.
Yeah.
You know. But if I didn't do it, the girls aren't going to do it. And the girls already told me years ago they're never doing yard work. So that's all me too. So I got no control over them at all.
A lot of pressure on the yard. I mean, I work in the yard for hours, and my wife will say,
drive by and
you didn't edge?
Like, yeah, well, geez, sorry. Yeah. Hey, Egan, we're on TV together, and there's no food.
Well,
this is what we do, buddy.
Okay,
we need to get some sponsors to get some food. Come on, buddy. Where's my moose?
Hey, if you come in here, we got the ultimate green room. I mean, we have a recliner for you. So we're waiting for you to come in.
Next time. I'm coming in next time. And hey, I want you guys to check the ratings. I think this show is going to rate much better than yesterday's.
Yeah, I'm checking my phone right now. They're off the charts right now.
Hey, listen, man, we appreciate you coming on, Brad. Looking forward to having you back on for sure, and definitely in the studio.